here. Hope it's a Monday day too. So with me is the
Hey guys, and welcome to our podcast. It's your girl, your co-host, Nolu M. And today's topic, it's all about our childhood, right? And I'm pretty sure you guys, if you might quite or remember, right, about your childhood, how it was like, the fun memories, the good and the bad of your childhood. Everyone has a story to talk about.
yeah, of course. I mean, childhood is just it's a. I mean, most of us have that remarkable memory of our childhood that we
Yes.
can never actually forget.
Forget, yeah,
Where
yeah.
most of us actually have that red letter day kind of childhood. When you remember it, you just feel like you were deprived of this and this and that. You just
Yes,
yeah.
and that's something that we're going to be talking about is not only like our childhood, like good times and the fun times that we had, during our childhood, but also the times where we kind of felt like we were being deprived or we felt like, ah, my days, like looking back, I wish I didn't do so and so, or I
Mm.
wish my parents could have done better, or I wish I could have done better.
Oh, you actually wish your parents knew these.
Yes. So,
Yeah, yeah,
guys, I really hope you guys are going to stay tuned. Not even like your guys. I hope you guys are going to stay tuned. Please stay tuned to the podcast because we are about to discuss. We are
yeah.
about
Because
to talk.
because exactly why. Because the childhood, I have my childhood story, and our childhood story is actually very unique to us individually. Because my
Mm-hmm.
childhood story may not even be your childhood story,
True.
but may actually be um like relatable. Like
Yeah. True.
your childhood
Because I feel
story
like,
may
yeah.
may not
True.
be my childhood story, but may just have like a little bit
Something that you will relate
close.
to,
Yeah,
that you're gonna be
yeah,
like,
and may just
oh,
resonate
i
with you. Yeah.
also i
Mm.
also like went through something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, guys, now let's just talk about like the lighter things, like how was childhood. Personally for me, right, childhood for me was a very nice, like I had the best times, guys. I don't even want to like lie and come out and be like I had the worst childhood, so and so and so. I had the best childhood, right? And I thank my parents for it because they tried so hard to provide for us. They tried to make sure that we have the life that they didn't have, so we have all the luxury stuff that they didn't have when they were like growing up. So I'm very thankful that I had like a childhood like that. So how about yours? How was yours day?
Mm, yeah, I really think that parents and parents are actually the main um, subjects when we talk about our childhood. Because now, when you talk about your childhood, you're gonna you're gonna remember your father, your mother, your siblings, your So
Yes.
I mean, sometimes some of our parents actually. Before I say how my childhood actually was, some of our parents actually they they did what they knew
They
better,
could do.
or
True.
how they did what they knew better. They so
They actually tried their best because one thing we need to understand as um as our parents' kids, right, is that they are also here for the first time. They are also doing this parent thing for the first time. They are mothers for the first time. They are fathers for the first time. So everything that they are doing is not even on a manual. They are like, there's nothing that is written that you have to do this. This is what you have to do. This is something that you don't have to do. So hence why each and every of our childhood is so different, but yet we can resonate with it, right?
yeah.
We can resonate with each other.
Yeah, in a kind of way, because now, say a person that's actually deprived from doing some certain things when they were actually like a little bit younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can actually resonate with the person that actually had the same experience, even though in another country and so whatnot. So my childhood, I would say my parents did. I have a beautiful parents. I have a lovable parents. My mom, she's in heaven. She was lovable. She was very, very lovable, and she did what she knew was was good for her kids, right? So even my dad too, he did what he knew was good for his kids. I feel like you said, parenting does not have manual for it. Like, I mean, the way Mr. A takes care of his home, and Mr. A and his wife take care of their home is going to be different from the way Mr.
Yes,
B,
B
because
takes care
even
of
even though there might
their
be
home.
a little bit of um same
Similar things, yeah,
similarity,
yeah.
but some people just have their own home core value,
True,
right?
true.
Some other parents have their own, and I like to think that different family and parents have their own doctrine or their own. This is what you must do. This is how you must do this. This is how you must do. Because I have my childhood is actually a beautiful and a sad one too, because now when I remember it from now, when I just have like I just sit and I actually just like take like an
Like reflect.
retrospect, and I
Yeah,
actually see, I'm like, yo, I wish my parents actually knew this better. I wish
yeah.
my parents actually saw this about me. Because for example now when I was I can't remember how old I was. I think I was around 7, 6, 7, 7 each, or six, thereabouts. So now I was maybe 7, 8, maybe I was 7, 6 or 8. So I was actually like in the primary school, primary school those days. So I used to love dancing. I have always loved dancing. I just feel like it's a gifting. It's a no. I was not 7.
Mm.
No. Oh yes, I was 7. I'm going to give two instances now. I'm trying. Because I want to give two instances now. So I'm confusing how old I was in those different instances. So this one, I was actually around in my primary school. I was only 7 or 8 there. But so I just love dancing. To the extent I
Mm.
was not so good in book reading. I didn't even know how to read. I won't lie. I was struggling to read. Honestly, I was struggling to do certain assignments. I was struggling to do, those days in our school, those days, you know, it was a school I went to whereby there's this English teacher that always, when we have English, we have to read the English reader, call it reader those days,
Mm, mm.
it's a textbook. So we have to read the book, and now line by line, when I finish reading, it's your turn.
Mm.
When you finish reading, the next person's turn, right?
Mm.
So whenever it's getting to my turn, you come and see my heart. I start palpitating. I start beating fast. Boom, 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 boom. I just wish something. I just have this wish that something should just happen. Maybe a serious downpour, like a thunderstorm. Something should just happen. So that just distract the teacher. So that maybe we should do the class, and But it was like that, and you know, there's one particular Easter that I can never forget in a minute. Like I can never forget about it now. It was one particular day in school. I went to school as usual, and I left. Because like I said, I love dancing. It was that particular day I went to school, and I can remember vividly. I left the school with friends I can't remember, but happened to be in another place,
Mm-hmm.
and this place is like we call it beer parlor.
Yeah.
It's like a lounge.
Mm, mm, mm.
You get it's lounge.
Yeah.
So I was there, and they were just playing this. Those days it was Makosa, Awilo. If you're conversant with Awilo Lokomba, those days. So like I could dance Awilo, like bro, I could dance it. I could dance it to the extent that people would even spray me money. Imagine 7, 8 years to school, but you know, because of juvenile delinquency, and I just wanted to
True,
just
true.
do my thing.
Yeah.
What I actually just
Like to
something was
do.
pushing me.
Yeah.
So I went there. I was dancing. So I was dancing. These people came from there was a like where you make hair. There's a salon nearby, and I was dancing. They were just I think we were actually going. My friends and I were just going. It's not like we actually just had the intention of let's go and dance somewhere for them to give us money. No, we are just going. I can't really remember. But then they're playing this
Yeah.
Makosa
Yeah.
Awilo music in that particular place.
Yeah.
So we just stopped there, and I was dancing. I can't really picture the people that was there, my friends there in that time, but I remember I was dancing. But hey, do you know what actually happened that moment? That particular day. Whilst I was dancing, I was just in that spirit. I was dancing, and immediately for a minute, my head up, lo and behold, I just saw my dad. I don't know where this smack, I don't know where my dad disappeared. I don't know where it came out from.
But he
The,
just
the
like,
moment I actually just rose up my, because because when I mean I rose up my, because now I was dancing, I was just everywhere, people were spraying me money, I was even picking the money and everything. The moment I just, for a minute, I just raised up my head like this. I saw my dad. My old man was actually somewhere. I mean, we're just there, close, looking at me, where I was dancing, and bro, I was shocked. I thought that when I get home that I'm going to get a big, I mean, punishment and everything. But
mm-hmm.
but that was me. That was that. I don't know what was pushed. It was inside me, dancing music.
Yeah.
You get so, and then I actually left that place quickly because I was afraid that maybe that's going to tell my mom, because my mom, I won't lie, being honest with you, I love both parents, but in that in this in a family, you're gonna have that one that's actually calm
Yeah,
and the
calm,
one
and the
that's
one that
actually
is like,
straight.
yeah,
So
true.
I was even afraid that if my mom gets to hear, she's gonna finish me with punishment or flogging. But then my dad didn't even say anything. I don't even know why because I ran,
Yeah.
and that was it. You see, that's why I feel like the and what I what I'm trying to say is that at that moment when I actually had like a self introspection, I was like, if my parents are actually known, um, like had this like broad knowledge, they would have actually just know at that time that this person
This is what you were
is
actually passionate
is
about.
passionate about dancing,
Yeah.
and he could dance for people to even spray money. It's inside him. They could have actually just harness it,
Yeah,
like
true, true.
actually make it become something,
Yeah,
right? So
of
now,
course.
but you know, like I said, parenting those days, they just, it was about this guy. My son is gonna be a doctor. My daughter is gonna become a doctor. My this is gonna become a lawyer. Those you don't there was not there was any profession for dancer like you want to be a dancer. I don't think
No.
they don't even hear it. You want to
That.
become a dancer. Dancer for who? Dance what?
True, true.
You know?
Where so as you heard from him, he did say that personally for him, he had a passion of dancing. Like he had a passion for dancing, and I think a lot of parents back then they actually didn't focus on what is your passion, right? They mainly just focused on like being like having like a very concrete career, whether to be a doctor, whether to be a lawyer, whether to be something that is like very big in the society at that time. So I think you were still a kid, right? Were you like very quiet or energetic, troublesome type of kid?
Actually, I like to think that I was actually both sides,
Mm,
energetic and quiet, in between.
mm-hmm.
I just say I have my days,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
depends on my mood, right? So, because I'm energetic, personally, I like dancing.
Yeah.
In fact,
I'm pretty.
I didn't just love dancing, I love music
Mm,
generally. And look at when I actually just rest, how I actually navigate from that state to another state to another state.
mm-hmm.
I'm like, yo, that was me then.
Mm,
I now when my to just fast forward, not to bring too much story. When my just fast forward from where I was dancing and my parents, my dad saw me and everything, which was whenever I remember that day, right?
mm.
It's just like yesterday to me.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand?
Feels like
So it
yesterday.
feels
Yeah.
like yesterday to me because it's so sharp in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another scenario whereby my um, um, my grandparents relocated to a new, because we lived with our grandparents at the time. So at the time, so they relocated to a new place, new
Mm,
side.
mm, mm.
So I remember that time. There's this local made guitar.
Mm, mm,
It's
mm.
not even a local made guitar. It was even something I made myself.
Oh,
I,
wow.
I used to like to listen to Bob Marley.
Mm,
Bob
okay.
Marley and what's it called? this other guy, Lucky Dube. You know, I used to like to listen to Bob Marley and Lucky Dube. So I will get I don't know what they call
Like
it.
you would like
I,
DIY a guitar.
I'll just form a guitar by myself. You know, it's not like a big guitar, right?
Yeah, but it's
But I
just like
just
a
put some
DIY. Yeah.
strings and just with it on the wood, just do it, and you see me. Yeah, I just even do some funny hairdo. I just wear it like this. It's not even a hairdo. I just put like a cloth on my hair just to make it look like it's like those guys have
Yeah,
they had
yeah,
like dread like yourself,
yeah.
long hair. So I just do it. So I go to this other space. I'll be like, "Bam, bam, 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 bam." So I was just like that person. So I feel like I was not. They didn't teach me those things.
Yes,
I
yes.
just like every other thing. That time there are people that actually love football. They like to play ball, but they like to act. But when it comes to me, it was about like music, dance. When you play song in music now, any kind of music at
It's
that
easy
time,
for you to
at that time,
kind of,
I
yeah.
don't need to know how
Like you
they
see
dance
right
it.
now, we have every step for every dance, for every song.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
back then, you knew like the rhythm.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
don't
yeah,
even have to know like the particular dance.
yeah.
Well, for me, right, my childhood, I was a very quiet, very calm, like reserved type of kid, right? Which I still believe I am, like till this day. I'm very like calm, reserved, and more, like I'm more like I analyze. I'm that person that would just like sit down and analyze like the situation and the room and and the people that are with me. So as we're talking about our childhood, like what type of like kid we were. So I'm pretty sure, guys, you can notice he was mostly the very energetic, hyper, very loud type of kid. And me personally, my childhood, or like when I was a kid, I was very like calm, very quiet, reserved, and I was just more like that. And I think it also, that's how I am even today. I'm like still like that. I'm still like calm, quiet, observant, very like chilled and all. So, so I know that everyone in their childhood, probably even till this day, there is this one thing, or if it's two, let it be two or whatever, but let's just say one thing, right? Where that your parents said probably do the dishes, and at that time when you were a kid, you just like hated doing the dishes.
The thing is that there's no. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe it's particularly for me, but I know there are people that actually um, witness. You know, that actually bear witness with me because now I think doing the dishes that time was actually like an equally tax for me because I'd be like, it's just too much. For me, right from time, I like to arrange. I like to put the house in order. I like to arrange things, put the cushion where they should be, just arrange the place. Just that's me naturally. I think that is actually inherent in me. But you see, doing laundry, washing, doing the dishes, that just like an equally task. Like it's like you want to just make me sad for a minute. You know, but it's not like I
True.
can't do it. I can do it very, very well, but it's not my go-to doing
Yeah,
chores. You know,
I think also
go-to chores.
like for me personally, like it was also the dishes. Like the dishes would make me so mad because I didn't understand why was I supposed to do the dishes? Why can't just everyone like wash their own dishes, or rather why can't we just eat off a paper plate and like throw it in the bin instead of having to just wash the plate? And especially if you come from a family that is like, you like a large family,
Mm,
that means that it's not only your dish, but it's probably now five dishes and probably some pots here and there,
mm.
some like it's just a lot. So for me, I really didn't I didn't like it, and I still think even now, I do not like doing the dishes.
Yeah.
I do not like doing the dishes, but then you come to an age where you just feel like if you don't do the dishes, then the house is gonna like stay very scattered. It's not gonna be organized, and you just have to have like things that are organized. Speaking, okay. So what was the best birthday party that they had for you that you remember and you felt like, wow, this birthday party was the best one?
Speaking of birthday party, not that I can remember anyway. I can't really remember, but I can actually just see pictures. I don't know if I had a birthday party,
Oh, okay.
but I know that I have pictures.
Yeah, you have pictures.
But I don't know. I don't remember like, hey, it was a birthday party and it was fun. It was this. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
remember. No, no.
So one thing about me in my family, birthdays were a huge thing. We celebrated birthdays.
Mm.
Like birthdays were a huge thing. And I remember when I was little, I think it was my sister's birthday at that time. And also I was little, so they were like throwing her a party, you know when you just throw like an in-house party. So she had like all of her gifts and the cake and all that stuff. And then I remember they told me that I literally cried because I was like, why isn't it my birthday? Like, why isn't
Imagine.
this my gift? I wanted my sister's gift. That's how bad I wanted. Time when would have like a birthday celebration and it is not my birthday, I would cry my eyes out because I didn't understand why is it someone else's birthday and not my birthday. But then the best birthday that I remember, um, I can't remember guys as much. Also, I really do not remember much
But at least you
because
had.
some of the things they tell us, it's not like we remember all of it,
Oh, okay.
right? It's not like
No, I
yeah,
mean,
because honestly, guys, the things that you did when you were 1 years old or 2 years old, you just remember the glimpse of it. You do not remember every single thing like
exactly.
in detail. You just remember that okay, yes, you did have a birthday party, but you don't remember exactly what happened, what was going on, and all that stuff. But most of my birthdays were really pretty much celebrated. My parents did the best to celebrate each and every of my siblings' birthday, including mine. So I guess every birthday was really just the best birthday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, let me see. So now, do you think we should like just like dive into like the deep aspects of our childhood, like our
We
you
should
know
already. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
one thing about like us when we were growing up, right? Or probably your guys also relate to this, is that none of you didn't want to be part of the black sheep crew. You understand? So like no one wanted to be part of the black sheep gang, right? Everyone wanted to make sure that they make their parents proud. Anything that their parents wanted at that time, you wanted to make sure that your parents' dreams are being fulfilled. You're making your parents proud because you didn't want
And
to be
that's why I
the
feel like
black sheep
that's
of
why I
the
feel like
family.
that's why I feel like the like you said. Speaking of which, the dream,
Yeah,
you want to fulfill your parents' dream.
yeah, true.
I feel like those days, most people, most family, or most fathers, most parents wanted their children to fulfill their dreams of becoming
Yes.
so that they can be called in quote mama doctor,
Yeah,
papa
yeah,
doctor,
yeah, yeah.
mama barrister. You know, they don't want their children like the Davidos that we see now. The Davidos, the likes of Davido, the likes of Osime, the footballer. I mean, those days, football. You want to go and play football, bro? Have you finished your textbook? Have you done this? Have you, you know?
True,
It was not even a thing that you could actually you can actually do. No, we're deprived of those things, and
Yeah.
that's why I said that they did what they knew better to do.
Yeah, true. They
You
did
know,
what they
because
knew.
even nowadays there are a lot of parents nowadays that are even because now people have actually like come to realize that oh there are a lot of okay, do you know Davido is a big star, right? Davido is richer than 1,000 doctors.
Yeah, true.
You understand? Do you know how many parents want their children to be as successful as Davido's?
Yeah.
Davido.
And I think nowadays parents are more like more relaxed, you know. They're no more like thinking about society. Because back then, I feel like it was more about society, that whenever they want to introduce their children to one of their friends and be like, oh, my child is a doctor. Oh, my child is
There's
a
this,
nurse. My
there
child
was
is
this
a lawyer.
prestige.
So if you
Yeah.
would be a lawyer,
That gives
doctor,
to
or
them, yeah.
whatever, right? Your parents' friends would be like, "Oh wow,
Wow.
what a successful
Mama
girl!
doctor. Yeah.
Oh,
They give the
oh,
parents
what a
this
successful." You,
prestige,
you
this
see, it's like
fulfilling.
yes.
Yeah.
So, but then now I feel like now parents are getting to understand that you must really invest in your child's passion, because you never know where is that passion going to lead your child into, because your child might be passionate in singing, you know, and if you kill their passion and you force them into doing something that like they do not even want to be doing, I'm pretty sure, 100% sure, that probably they will be successful, right? But then they're gonna end up doing something that they do not like.
And
They're gonna be kind of like depressed, and you know, being like, oh, I did this because of my family.
I really think that even though they even become successful, but in the end, they have just fulfilled another man's dream.
Yes.
They have just fulfilled another person's dream.
Yes,
They didn't really fulfill what what God actually instilled in them.
Yeah. So tell me, guys, what do you actually feel that you personally feel like your parents kind of, I don't know how to put
deprive
it.
you from.
Yes, yes. So tell us, tell us in the comments.
Remember, there was this story about Michael Jackson when he said that his parents deprived him of some certain things.
You see,
Yes.
so guys,
This thing of those days where parents deprive their
of certain stuff,
of certain stuff,
yeah,
you know,
true.
deprive their children of these, that. Because me, I won't lie. Seriously, like I said, we call it deprive. They deprive us from some certain things, but to them, it was how much they knew.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You know, like.
And we personally, I feel like we cannot blame them, right? Because
Of course, we cannot blame them. That's why.
yes,
That's why.
because
That's why.
at that time, right? As you were saying, at that time, they were doing what they knew of, right? Because back in their time, all they knew about is, if you want to be successful, is to be a doctor. If you want to be successful, have this certain career, right? So for them, that was success. That was like the definition of successful careers. But then nowadays, like, you can just do singing and you can be successful more than a doctor.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can do content creation and you can be successful more than a person that works a 9 to 5 job. Your salary could be so much more than a person that is doing a 9 to 5 job,
Exactly.
that literally went to school for 7 years or even like 5 or 3 years, and what you make through content or what you make through whatever that you're doing is probably twice their salary.
Of course.
So I think nowadays parents are actually becoming more
I mean, I think,
free,
yeah, and
right?
unlearning.
They're getting to like unlearning and adapt to
Yeah.
the 21st century, that now things are changing. It's
Exactly.
normal. It's normal that society career, that if you want to be successful, go to certain career.
Because now there are even
Like-
more. There are musicians that are actually more
Yes,
successful than
more
doctors.
successful than
There are
doctors.
most footballers are successful than
True.
most doctors. Do you know that some people don't even now get that opportunity? Because now, do you remember? Just imagine now that you wanted to be a musician, or just like that, you have like a great affinity for music and everything, and now they start calling you doctor, and you be like, am I doctor? And you just kind of feel like, okay, maybe I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not the musician.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not I'm not
Maybe
that
I'm not
person.
that,
Maybe I'm
yeah.
this person.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you just start. You can actually really develop passion for for a particular career.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe you just start developing passion even though it's not what actually is
I
inherent in
personally
you.
feel like even when you would start to kind of develop like a passion for what your parents initially wanted you to do, as like years pass by and you're still in that career, it's gonna show that. I personally feel like if you really do not like a thing or you're not passionate about a certain career, yes, you might like stick it up or suck it up at that time, right? For just like those years. But then as years go by, the more stress you have, like in that job, right? And the working environment is not good. It's going to show that that was not your passion, because it's going to be easy for you to kind of let it go
Yeah, so
because it wasn't your
I just really
passion.
think that, like we said earlier, our parents knew the much that their parents taught them,
Yeah, true, true.
and and that the society also taught them.
Mm-hmm.
So to our parents, they did their best.
Yeah, shout
and
out to
and like
parents.
shout out to parents, shout out to parents, those in heaven, those still living, so because now our parents did their best, like I said, what my parents, my mom, my dad, what they did at the point in time was actually the morals, the how do you call it, the things that actually kept us,
Yeah,
because
because if
now I'm not living with my parents anymore, but those morals, those
they're
lectures,
still
those
within you,
they're still
yeah,
within
they're
me.
still within you.
Because I can literally remember those days that my mom would take me and my younger one to Saturday church,
Yeah, like Sunday school.
what do you call it, not Sunday school, Saturday,
Oh, Saturday.
kid, what do you call it now, we were actually very young, like in around, I think around 7 8 that time. So my mom would always take us to Saturday church. We would normally do Saturday fasting. Children, we were actually in children church, so we normally do Saturday fasting, and my mom would take us there. We'll do fasting, we'll break in church, they'll give us the cabin biscuits, they will give us biscuit, they'll share biscuit for everyone, then we'll go home. So it was that measure that actually kind of actually build up inside of me. That's why no matter how many nonsense that I do, I still just fall back to my to my
Yeah.
default, which is what was instilled inside me by my mom.
Yeah,
You know,
guys,
yeah.
all that I would also say is honestly shout out to parents because they did the best that they could,
Yeah,
making
yeah,
sure
yeah.
that our childhood is very much like nice. They really tried their best. So, yes, there are a few things that if you look back and reflect on your childhood, you would feel like, my parents shouldn't have done this, or you personally shouldn't have done certain things. You
And I
understand?
and I really
And
think and I really think that it just actually dawned on me now, because now if you actually look at the society today, if you actually look at the society we live in today, there are so many wayward kids, children, sons, daughters out there than they were those days. Because I feel like parents kind of actually reduce their standards. They let their children do some certain things that they're not supposed to do at some certain age,
yeah,
or
yeah,
at
yeah,
some
yeah,
at
yeah.
because eh, my not see, I came from a family whereby, bro, you don't want to you don't you don't want to be the culprit.
True.
You understand? Even my grandfather, I love him so much, he's in heaven now. My grandfather, that time, if you wear a jean, a pants that's got like four more than necessary pockets,
Yeah.
yeah, my grandfather was like, what is this? Why are we, And those days, I don't think that's actually really necessarily happened nowadays that much.
I think
There was a time that I actually
I
got
think
the bicycle. There's one actually got the bicycle. I borrowed my money. I was working that time. So I came from a family whereby we bring something home that they didn't give you, and they'll ask the question. They'll ask, "Where did you get this phone from? Where did you get this?" My grandfather was even asking me, "Where did I get my bicycle from? Where did I?" But nowadays, parents, you see a
Yes,
child
but
with
then
a
I
phone,
think-
you don't even ask them.
Yeah, but with that, right, it's also like both sides.
Not all parents, though. Not all.
Not all parents, right?
I mean,
Not all parents, because there are still some parents that when you would wear certain clothing, they'll ask you that, what is this? Like, what is happening? Are you gonna go out looking like this and so and so and so, right? And even there are parents where you would come home. All parents, right? It's not all parents that are gonna allow crazy things. You understand? So especially my family, I think my family, they still do it now. My parents, my grandparents, they still do it now. You get? So if I would be with them, right, and I'm wearing something, or going out and I'm wearing something that is just like a bit like skimpy or whatever the case may be, right? They will look at me and be like, are you really going to be wearing this? Especially my grandmother and even like my parents, they would be like, change. And one thing about my father would be like, go change. He might even take that clothing item, if it's a short dress, a short skirt, he will take it and he will throw it in the trash bin. That's where it's going to be at. You understand? So not all parents are like that. And with the fact of like some other kids would come into the house with like new phones, probably a new watch, a new bag, or whatever the case may be, and their parents do not ask anything. I beg me. My parents are not going to do that. My parents are going to ask, as old as I am right now, they would ask me, where did you get this phone? How did you do this? You know, they're going to ask questions. So it's really not like kids could come in and they could probably even buy them like watches or phones, and like their parents are not even going to ask them anything at all. So
I really
there's two
think
sides of parents.
I really think that, come on, I really think that I can tell with me, I'm using myself as a case study,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because
So
right now, um, my family actually like oversee. I'm living by myself, but there's this thing that's actually like is should I say is is um a monitor, like a monitoring that keep me in check. There's some certain things that I cannot even do because it's bizarre. Like it's very aberrant. I can't even
yeah,
see
because
myself doing it because
when you actually
because
do
of my
it, you kind of,
defaults.
yes, you kind of think back and you're like, are my parents going to allow this? Would my parents allow this? Like, not like your parents are going to allow it. It's because it's something bizarre to you. You never done it
Because
before.
now you're already used to
Yes, you used to certain rules.
this rules because you're already
And
used to
now,
this thing.
even if you start to live by yourself, and probably now you have like much more freedom, but then it still will come bizarre to you when you have to start doing things that are
Of
outside,
course.
you know, outside the things that you used to do. You understand? So it's going to be like,
Isn't that why the Bible said, train up a child in the way he should grow, and when he grows up, he will not depart from it. That
yes,
really,
so that they will go back.
that is actually
Yes.
the perfect way to put it. Because now,
Yes, they will
train
go
up
back.
a child in the way he
Yes,
should grow.
yes.
So now I feel like parents, the way you want your child to grow, train him or
So
her
that when
like
they
that.
actually grow up,
They will not
they're going
depart.
to go back to what you taught them,
You
and
get-
they're going to be like, this is not what my
And
parents taught me.
even if of course they meet friends, you know, friends we
Friends
influence and
will
influence and everything in high school, university, but they know
That no,
at the
no,
point
no,
in
no,
time
no,
that this thing I'm doing is not the right thing
True,
that
true.
I should do, even though they are doing it. But there's this conscience
in them that's
in
going
them
to be
that's
like,
actually telling them that this is not how
this is not
this is not how we
this is
do
not
things
how
in
I
our
was- yeah, I
in
was
our
taught.
family.
Yeah.
This is not how we do things in our home, right? Because obviously, I won't lie to you. Anybody can be influenced in school, in varsity, and everything. But imagine a person that doesn't even have a good home bringing. That one is just going to be the 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 what they call it, the worst in school, and people will not be saying that there's an evil imagination, there's actually a problem with this guy, this. No, it is the upbringing.
Yeah, true. So, to kind of like sum up now our topic for today, to kind of sum up our episode for today. So we spoke about childhood, right?
Yeah, childhood,
We
yeah.
spoke about how our childhood, like each of how like different our childhood was. My childhood was so different from your childhood. Your challenges that you had during your childhood was different from my challenges that I had from my
Yeah.
childhood. But then, irregardless of the differences that we had in our childhood, there are so many things that we when like speaking, right, and probably you guys also are going to notice that as we're speaking about certain stuff that happened in our childhood, the experiences that we've also experienced, it kind of resonates with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of be like, oh wow, that happened to her too. Oh wow, oh, that's what I also thought. So it's like our childhood, guys, can be so different from each other. Our experiences can be so different, but then there's just that one or two thing that when someone says it, you're gonna be like, also my childhood was like this. I never even thought that your childhood was like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think for now this is going to be the end of our episode. And
Like this episode actually resonates with me. It's a very sensitive topic with me, for me, and I believe it's also a very sensitive topic for most of you guys out there. And I actually believe that most parents, when you watch this, and I mean, most of us when we watch this, we're gonna actually unlearn, relearn, and know. And learn, So it's actually beautiful to actually have your time to this extent today. We love you guys. This is a mega mind, and
Nolu M and signing out.
yeah, we're actually
Bye.
signing out. Thanks for actually watching the Curious Mind podcast. We love you guys. Cheers. Peace.